the day Pei Xiuye officially secured his position as the CEO of the Pei Corporation. He gave my project and position to his white moonlight. I didn't feel the slightest bit of anger about it. I just smiled with relief and left without looking back. Later, when he learned the truth, he asked me with red eyes, "Did you never love me? Sister Xiuye, are you really leaving the company?" The HR person complained for me. "Are you really leaving? You've done so much for the company. Isn't President Pei just kicking down the ladder after crossing the river?" I shook my head with a smile. "It's okay, help me with the procedures. I'll leave after I've handed over my work." As soon as I got back to my desk, I received a direct call from Pei Xiuye, asking me to go to his office. As soon as I entered, I saw him staring at me with a gloomy face. "Where have you been? I called you 3 times before you answered." I was about to explain when I heard him coldly scold. "Xia Xiuye, remember your identity, you are an employee, and following orders from your superiors is the most basic rule. I gave your project and position to Alan after careful consideration. Don't give me any attitude, and if you don't want to do it, just leave early." I sighed lightly and lied. "I just went to the restroom." As soon as I finished speaking, the office door was pushed open. Without turning around, I knew that the person who dared to enter Pei Xiuye's office without knocking was the only one in the whole company. That was Pei Xiuye's former first love, white moonlight, Xian Lan. Sure enough, the next second, Xian Lan's voice came from behind. I made coffee for you myself." For some reason, as Xian Lan passed by me with the coffee, she suddenly tripped on flat ground, and all the coffee in her hand spilled onto my arm. Hiss! Even though I was wearing clothes, the clothes in summer are really thin. I'm sure this time the injury is not light. After all, it's just brewed coffee. "Alan, are you okay?" Pei Xiuye got up and quickly walked towards Xian Lan, hurriedly helping her up. "Are you okay? Why are you so careless? Let others do these small things in the future." Pei Xiuye said, checking up and down, and only after making sure the person was fine did he let out a sigh of relief. Xian Lan looked moved. "I'm fine, but is Xiuye's sister okay? I feel like the coffee spilled all over her." Upon hearing this, Pei Xiuye finally turned his gaze to me. He frowned and asked, "What are you still standing there for? Don't go deal with it. If a client comes and sees you like this, how does it affect the company's image?" I responded and turned around and left. I dealt with it in the bathroom for a long time, and as soon as I finished and turned around, I saw Xian Lan standing behind me. She looked at me with a teasing smile on her face. "How is it? Does it feel very uncomfortable in your heart?" I asked in confusion. "What discomfort? Miss Xian can speak directly." Xian Lan sneered. "What's the point of pretending? At your age, you still pretend not to understand. You know, Pei Xiuye has said more than once that he really can't stand you, this old woman, always meddling in everything." "Old woman? Compared to Pei Xiuye, I am 3 years older than him. Indeed, I can be considered old." Seeing me silent, Xian Lan continued to mock. "Xia Xiuye, you should be clear that Pei Xiuye doesn't love you at all. He didn't even blink when he saw you get hurt. If you know what's good for you, just leave early and don't get in our way." Hearing this, what else was there for me not to understand? After all this time, Xian Lan considered me her imaginary enemy. "You're overthinking it. My relationship with Mr. Pei is purely professional." I then added, "As for whether I am loved or not, that's not something Miss Xian needs to worry about." As I said this, I subconsciously touched the ring hanging around my neck. Xian Lan let out a cold laugh. "Xia Xiuye, you really have no shame. Who doesn't know that you've been chasing after Pei Xiuye for 5 years like a bootlicker? I've heard about your heroic deeds even from abroad. If you're really lacking a man, I can introduce someone to you. You keep clinging to someone who doesn't love you and pretend that nothing's wrong. Do you think everyone else is a fool? You must be delusional, right?" The speaker was careless, but the listener was attentive. My hands clenched tightly together, and I didn't even notice the pain as my fingernails dug into my palm. The face submerged deep in memory surfaced in my mind, gradually transforming from a gentle smile in the sunlight to a terrifying visage interwoven with paleness and blood. "I'm not sick. If you're done, get out of my way." With that, I pushed her aside and walked away. Xian Lan let out a scream and fell to the ground. The commotion in the restroom still drew the attention of the department. "What's going on?" The familiar voice from the outskirts of the crowd came, and tears instantly welled up in Xian Lan's eyes. She started to cry and speak. I came over to apologize to Xiuye for accidentally spilling coffee on her earlier, but Xiuye said I have no shame. She said I was taking advantage and acting innocent, that I stole her project and position and dared to show off in front of her, which is why I got angry and pushed her. Slap! Pei Xiuye pushed his way into the crowd and slapped me. I didn't react in time and was left dazed by the blow. This startled the people around us. Pei Xiuye looked at his hand belatedly, about to explain, but I slapped him back. I put a lot of force into it, watching as a clear imprint of my fingers slowly appeared on his face. Idiot! I cursed and pushed my way through the crowd to leave. Pei Xiuye watched my retreating figure, about to chase after me but was held back by Xianlan. I think I've twisted my ankle. Can you take me to the hospital? Pei Xiuye responded indifferently, bent down to pick the person up, and left as well. After leaving the company, I drove to the cemetery. I navigated with ease to a tombstone, gazing down at the photo on it. The photo showed a young, handsome, and bright man. His name was engraved on the tombstone, Pei Xiuye. He was my lover and Pei Xiuye's brother. I touched the half of my face that Pei Xiuye had hit and began to complain to Pei Xiuye. Ajin, Pei Xiuye is really too stupid, a guy who's blind and heartless. He actually hit me, and I'm his sister-in-law, an elder sister-in-law is like a mother. Him hitting me is a great disrespect. But I hit back too. You taught me if you're not happy, fight back, don't hold it in. Ajin, I've also fulfilled the second thing I promised you. Pei Xiuye may be a bit stupid in seeing people, but he's still pretty good at managing the company. After I finish my work, I'll do the third thing. Then, you have to guide me from the heavens. If I can't find my way home, don't blame me if I run off with someone else. As I spoke, tears began to fall involuntarily. My Ajin, he used to love the hustle and bustle. But now he can only lie here, listening to my endless chatter. Pei Xiuye passed away 5 years ago because he saved me. The Pei family has 2 children, Pei Xiuye and Pei Xiuye. When they were young, during one of their outings, Pei Xiuye accidentally let a human trafficker abduct Pei Xiuye. After Pei Xiuye was lost, the Pei family was shrouded in shadow. Pei's mother became despondent and passed away in the 3rd year. Pei's father managed the company while taking care of Pei Xiuye. However, overall, they were not close, and Pei's father did not care much about Pei Xiuye. As Pei Xiuye grew up, Pei's father's health gradually declined under work pressure. 8 years ago, the Pei family finally got a lead on Pei Xiuye and brought him back. Considering the hardships Pei Xiuye had endured during his years of being lost, Pei's father did not put too much pressure on him, just telling him to live happily. Later, Pei's father passed away. Pei Xiuye took over Pei's father's position and continued to take care of Pei Xiuye, striving to create a pure land for him. I met Pei Xiuye at a banquet. After spending some time together, we officially became a couple. We thought we would be together for a lifetime. But good times don't last, and joy turns to sorrow. My father was a criminal police officer and passed away when I was in junior high school. My mother also left this world not long after. I grew up alone with the help of the state. Unexpectedly, a few of the criminals my father had eliminated escaped. These few individuals lay low for several years before re-emerging, just to kill me. That day was supposed to be the 1-year anniversary of Pei Xiuye and me being together. On a day filled with joy, happiness, and bliss, they were all caught in one fell swoop. And the price was that I lost my beloved forever. Before dying, he asked me to promise him 3 things. The first thing, he begged me to live well. The second thing, he said he was sorry for Pei Xiuye and asked me to help Pei Xiuye more if I am capable. The third thing, after Pei Xiuye can take on the big responsibilities, he hoped I could see the world on his behalf. I agreed. The next day, I still went to the company as usual. After the official handover of work today, I can leave. While I was packing up, a voice suddenly came from the door. What are you doing? I looked up and saw Pei Xiuye standing at the door, staring straight at me and the file box on my desk. Is there something? I asked him. He walked up to me, looking at my personal items in the box. What's this about? I didn't even mind you pushing away Alan's matter yesterday. Don't tell me you're leaving. I nodded. Yes, the approval has been passed and my handover is complete. Upon hearing this, Pei Xiuye's eyes widened instantly. Approval? When did I sign for you? I thought about it and replied to him. The day before yesterday, after the meeting in the afternoon, I went to get your signature. It was my resignation document. The day before yesterday was the good day when Pei Xiuye officially became the president of Pei Group. In the afternoon, he held a routine meeting and handed over my position and the contracts I had just signed to Xianlan. He is already capable of handling everything on his own, so naturally, there is no need for me to stay. No, you can't leave. Pei Xiuye grabbed my wrist and looked at me earnestly. You've been with the company for 5 years, watching it grow to where it is today. How can you just leave like this? I shook off his hand and said, it's precisely because the company is now on the right track that there is no need for me to stay. What do you mean? Pei Xiuye growled. What do you mean the company is on the right track, so you don't need to stay? Are you saying you were lying to me all along? Lie? I don't know why he would say that. What did I lie to you about? Pei Xiuye suddenly was at a loss for words, stammering. Don't you like me? How can you just leave like this? It was my turn to widen my eyes in surprise. It took me a while to digest and finally understand what he was saying. Don't talk nonsense, I have my own beloved. When did I ever say I liked you? You're spreading rumors. As I spoke, I took a step back to create some distance between us. Pei Xiuye seemed to be provoked by my action, a hint of grievance appearing on his face. Since I joined the company, you've spared no effort to help me. You could drink to the point of stomach bleeding to secure contracts for me. You could stay awake for 2 days and nights to take care of me when I was sick. For my health, you often prepared nutritious meals for me. Most importantly, I remember once when someone asked if you had a crush, you said yes, and when they asked who, you said his surname was Pei, and he was a very, very good person. Your actions, coupled with your own words, don't they indicate that the person you like is me? As he spoke, it seemed like he thought of something and suddenly laughed. Is it because Xianlan is by my side, and you can't bear the grievance, that's why you're planning to leave? Don't worry, Xianlan is just someone I couldn't have in my youth. She's incomparable to who she was back then, and I haven't even held you accountable for pushing her yesterday. Most importantly, she studies art and can't help me in the company at all, so I just gave her your secretary job, keeping her on as a figurehead. And you can go to the business department. With your abilities, you're sure to create greater value for the company. He rambled on, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise. Just as I was about to refuse him, I turned my head and saw Xianlan standing at the door, tears streaming down her face as she looked at me and Pei Xiuye. That stubborn yet restrained look, coupled with Xianlan's inherent delicate flower aura, was truly extremely aggrieved. I jerked my chin towards the door, and Pei Xiuye turned his head following my gaze. Upon recognizing the visitor, Pei Xiuye's face instantly turned pale. He quickly approached Xianlan, anxiously trying to explain something. Xianlan let out a soft hum, wiped away her tears, and turned to leave. Pei Xiuye followed behind, gesticulating wildly as he explained something. Watching the two leave, I couldn't help but laugh. After all, these two are still young, still playing house. I packed up my things and left, holding them. Before leaving, I said to my colleagues who had worked in the same department for 5 years, I'm leaving, and before I go, I'd like to invite everyone to have a meal together. I'll send the address to the small group chat, and you all must come, not a single one can be missing. I'm quite popular in the company. Everyone got up and gathered around, chattering some comforting words. I smiled and agreed one by one, chatted for a few minutes, and then left. In the private room, while I was chatting with my colleagues, Pei Xiuye and Xianlan arrived. I don't know how Pei Xiuye coaxes people, but now it seems the two have made up and are even more affectionate. Xianlan noticed my gaze and hugged Pei Xiuye's arm tighter. How did you know about this place? As soon as I asked, a colleague nearby whispered. The location you sent in the small group chat, Xianlan is also in the group. He's only been in the company for a few days and has already joined the small group chat. That's quite fast. Sister Qingyue, we are all colleagues, and it's a department dinner. How could we not come? Forget it, since they're here, I can't drive them out. I asked the waiter to add 2 sets of chopsticks, and then ignored the 2 of them. As a result, the 2 quietly changed seats and sat next to me. I turned my head and saw Xianlan's face, almost choking on my food. Xianlan's smile froze, then she spoke with a pitiful expression. Sister Qingyue, do I look that repulsive? I bent over coughing repeatedly, and a colleague on my side helped pat my back. Suddenly, a hand reached over from the side and snatched the necklace hanging around my neck. I reacted and grabbed that hand. It was Xianlan again. I spoke coldly. Let go. If you don't blame me for being rude. Xianlan spoke with a grin. Sister Qingyue is so anxious about this ring. It can't be the one your lover gave you that you mentioned before, right? Indeed. This ring was given to me by Pei Xiuye on our first anniversary. He designed and polished these 2 rings himself. His ring was buried with his ashes in the cemetery. I've been wearing mine around my neck for fear of losing it. Seeing her nonchalant attitude, I turned cold, and with my other hand, I grabbed both of her hands and twisted them forcefully, hearing a scream. The ring fell from her hand and rolled around on the ground, disappearing somewhere. I quickly squatted down, feeling around for it. After searching for a while, I just saw the ring and was about to pick it up. Another hand took it a step ahead. Looking up, it was Pei Xiuye. Damn it, I cursed in my heart. I should have kicked both of them out earlier. They're nothing but trouble. Pei Xiuye looked at the ring and sneered. Looking at the material, it's just an ordinary platinum ring. As for... He was speaking when his voice suddenly stopped. I seized the opportunity to snatch it away, carefully inspected it until I was sure there was no wear and tear. Pei Xiuye froze in place, muttering, "Pxj xqi. What's wrong with you?" Xian Lan, seeing Pei Xiuye's dazed look, voiced her concern. Pei Xiuye didn't answer her, but turned to look at me. "It's me, Pei Xiuye Pxy, not Pxj. Pxj is my brother, so the one you love is my brother, not me, right?" Seeing him discover the truth, I also admitted it generously. "Yes, if it weren't for your brother, we wouldn't even have the possibility of knowing each other." Hearing this, Pei Xiuye staggered and fell directly into the chair. Everyone in the private room was confused, only Xian Lan reacted. She likes your brother. Didn't your brother die? Without that short-lived guy in the way, isn't the future of the Pei family up to us?" Xian Lan was still immersed in her own beautiful fantasy. The happiness at the corner of her mouth hadn't even risen when it was wiped away by a slap from me. "Shut up. Even if Ajin has left, he's not someone you can slander." Xian Lan, covering her face in disbelief, turned and cried, asking Pei Xiuye to stand up for her. But Pei Xiuye didn't even give him a glance, staring straight at me and asked, "So you've never loved me, not even for a single moment, right?" I nodded. "Yes, I have someone I love." Pei Xiuye laughed, a laugh filled with desolation and pain. No wonder you didn't get angry when I took your position and projects. No matter how badly I treated you, you didn't get angry." I replied to him, "I do get angry, sometimes I think you're really too foolish, and I really can't trust the company to you. But in the past few months, you've done well, you've taken your place, and you can stand on your own. I've fulfilled what I promised to your brother." After speaking, I walked up to him and patted his shoulder. "Ajin feels he owes you a lot, and in the end, he still can't let you go. But the road ahead, you have to walk it on your own. That's all." After saying that, I turned around and left. In the evening, as soon as I finished taking a bath and came out, I heard a knock on the door. I looked through the peephole to see who it was before opening the door. As soon as I opened the door, a strong smell of alcohol rushed in. Pei Xiuye was clearly drunk, with a foolish smile on his face. "Hee, I knew you would definitely open the door for me." As he spoke, he tried to come in, but I pushed him right back out. "What are you doing here at night, not sleeping and drinking so much?" Pei Xiuye burped and said with a wronged expression, "I'm so hungry I haven't eaten yet, and my head hurts. Qingyu, I want to drink the hangover soup you cook. I want to eat the food you make. You won't ignore me, right?" I sneered. "I don't know who said more than once that I'm too involved. Didn't you pour away the soup and food I made for you? Now, you come here and say these words, what do you mean exactly? If there's nothing, you should leave quickly, I'm going to rest." The next second, Pei Xiuye's heavy body smashed directly towards me. I was forced to catch him, and he took the opportunity to hug me. "Qingyu, can you stay and not leave? I can't bear to part with you. I don't want you to leave. I want to see you every day, will you stay?" I pushed him, but he hugged me tighter. "Pei Xiuye, the reason I appeared in front of you at the beginning was because I promised your brother to help you more when I have the ability. At that time, you were completely like an infant in front of those old foxes in the company. I had no choice but to protect you behind me, and then teach you about the company's affairs hand by hand. These 5 years, although there have been many unpleasant things between us, overall you have made great progress, and you can stand on your own, so I should also leave. From the moment you sat in that position, you could give my projects and positions to others, you could easily position a person's value, you could accurately grasp the direction of the market, and you could choose projects suitable for the company one by one. I was very happy. You don't have to be a fledgling anymore, you can spread your wings and soar in the sky that belongs to you. So, Pei Xiuye, you don't need my protection anymore, and it's meaningless for me to stay." Before the words left my lips, I felt a warm drop of liquid fall on my neck. It was Pei Xiuye's tears. He was crying. "No, it's meaningful." He released me, placing both hands on my shoulders. Those eyes that were just now clouded by drunkenness were now astonishingly bright. Your existence is the greatest meaning. You just need to stay by my side, let me see you, and I'll be at ease. I belatedly realized something. You. Before I could finish, he kissed me. I was initially shocked, then I pushed him away and slapped him. Pei Xiuye, look clearly, I am Pei Xiuye, not Xian Lan. Now, right now, get out immediately. If you want to act drunk, go find Xian Lan. As I spoke, I was pushing him hard. But Pei Xiuye was like an immovable mountain, standing there quietly looking down at me. Pei Xiuye, is it because I'm not my brother, I'm not named Pei Xiuye, that I don't even have the right to be close to you? He suddenly grabbed my restless hands, tightly imprisoning me in his arms. Qingwei, you should have guessed, right? He rested his chin on my shoulder, and by my ear was his low laughter. Qingwei, I like you. No, it's love, I love you. I've only just realized, the one I truly love is you. Before, you always controlled me. I thought you wanted to dominate me, that's why I was rebellious and made things difficult for you everywhere. But I understand, everything you did was for my own good, to make me a better person. Qingwei, I love you, I will love you like a brother, even more than a brother. You don't have to feel guilty, brother is already dead, he has been dead for 5 years. Even if we are together, brother would be happy if he knew. Think about it. I am his favorite younger brother. You are his favorite woman. After we are together, we can also remember him together. How nice. The more I listened, the more frightened I became. Pei Xiuye seemed to be trapped in some strange, self-consistent fantasy. I was taken away by Pei Xiuye. He imprisoned me in a villa in the suburbs and took away all my electronic devices. He provided me with a professional team, and there were people for every aspect of eating, living, and entertainment. But they did not communicate with me at all, like a group of soulless puppets. And Pei Xiuye was the same, he was like a tireless puppet. Every day, he travels between the suburbs and the city, a 4-hour drive. Every day when he sees me, he smiles, and the first thing he says is always, "You, have you missed me?" On the first day, I resisted. I fasted for a day, hit and scolded him, and even smashed the cooked food on him. He just looked at me silently, and then quietly cleaned up the mess. After the second day, I stopped resisting. Because I found out that Pei Xiuye was serious, he really wanted to lock me up for life. So I must eat well, rest well, and keep myself healthy and plump. Even if it's just enduring, I will outlast him. After figuring it out, everything became easy to handle. For the following days, I was like that. Seeing my change, Pei Xiuye was very pleased. Ayu, are you ready to accept me? I was eating, not even sparing him a glance. He suddenly reached out, pinched my chin, forcing me to meet his gaze. Ayu, look at me, answer me, okay? I chuckled lightly. What do you want me to promise you, and accept what from you? Of course, it's to promise to be with me and accept me. His tone was coaxing, as if all I had to do was nod, and he could pull me up to the heavens. What about Xian Lan? Isn't she your white moonlight? The most beautiful existence in your heart? Where does she stand now when you say that? Xin Lan. A flash of surprise crossed Pei Xiuye's face, as if he didn't expect me to mention this name. He chuckled, an indescribable pleasure appearing on his face. Is Ayu unwilling to promise me because of her existence? He released his grip on me, gently pulling me into his arms, stroking my back over and over, as if petting a beloved pet. Ayu, rest assured, since you mind her existence, I will take care of her. At first, I didn't understand what he meant by taking care of. It wasn't until I went to sleep at night, when he held me from behind, gently sniffing my neck. Ayu, do you know, since my brother left, I rarely have a good night's sleep. But now, as long as you are by my side, I feel so content. How can you be so amazing? He sniffed as he spoke, like a hungry wolf releasing its own scent around before feeding, to ensure a pleasant and safe meal. Suddenly, his phone vibrated. He picked up his phone and looked at it, then smiled. He handed the phone to me, opening it to a video. In the video, a woman in red was tied up from behind and thrown into the sea. The video was only a few seconds long, but hearing the woman sobbing, I knew who was in the video. It was Xian Lan, whom I mentioned in the afternoon. Ayu, I know she framed you and spilled coffee on you, so I taught her a lesson for you. Are you happy? At this moment, my scalp was numb. It seemed like the first time I saw the true face of Pei Xiuye. He is a complete and utter madman. He looked at my terrified appearance, and the smile on his face gradually disappeared. He threw away the phone and hugged me, comforting me in a low voice. Ayu, don't be afraid, I won't do that to you. Don't be afraid of me, I will always be good to you. I will love you forever. Now, no matter what he says, I won't believe him anymore. I can only be obedient and first preserve my own life, then find a way to escape. I thought the way I would leave this prison was that one day, under Pei Xiuye's negligence, I would escape alone. Not like now, with Pei Xiuye rushing back in a panic, dragging me away. I don't know where he's taking me. I can only be forced to follow. Where are we going? In the car, I asked him. We're leaving here and going abroad. Abroad? I don't know what happened, but judging by Pei Xiuye's flustered appearance, it's obviously not good. I opened my mouth, hesitated for a long time before speaking. Can you tell me what happened? Pei Xiuye turned to look at me, he said with a smile. It's nothing, just a little trouble. We need to go abroad to avoid for a while, and when we have the chance later, we will come back. Did something happen to the company? As soon as I spoke, I distinctly felt Pei Xiuye's body stiffen. He awkwardly laughed and denied. No, I'm just taking you abroad to relax, don't think too much. Pei Xiuye, don't lie to me, tell me what really happened? We've been through 5 years together, I know you well. The company is not just your own effort. Pei Xiuye opened his mouth, and in the end, it turned into a silent sigh. It's Xian Lan, she's not dead, she was rescued. After she woke up, she went to the police and sold a lot of the company's core information to several rival companies. Now, Pei's company has gone bankrupt, and we owe a lot of money. We must leave here and go to a place where no one can find us. Each sentence from Pei Xiuye's mouth was more shocking than the last. He looked at my stunned appearance and said with a smile, Don't worry, I will safely take you away. I didn't respond to him, and the car fell into silence, leaving only the roar of the engine. After a while, I looked at him and said, You're hiding something else from me, aren't you? Pei Xiuye didn't answer, just clenched the steering wheel tightly. I looked at his knuckles turning white from the force and said with a smile, Turn yourself in. You. He glanced at me, his eyes full of painful struggle. Do you want me to go? I responded indifferently. If you don't want to go, you can choose to leave with my corpse. Hiss. Pei Xiuye slammed on the brakes, and before the car had even stopped, he turned his head and stared at me. You already know. When did you find out? I nodded. Yes. The few servants in the villa, their states are not quite right. I think you should have investigated my relationship with you and your brother long ago, so you should also have some understanding of my identity. My father is a criminal police officer. And there are also problems with the company's funds. 40% of the annual income is donated, but the donated organizations are not well-known large organizations. Their activities and maintenance do not need so much money. I think the extra money should have been transferred away. Pei Xiuye looked at me, and when I met his gaze, I did not back down at all. If I turn myself in, will you come to see me? I nodded. Yes, I will go to many places, bring back a lot of scenery and show it to you. He smiled. The car started again, and this time he drove very, very slowly. All along the way, we didn't speak, just sat quietly, looking at the scenery by the roadside, listening to each other's breath and heartbeat. The car finally stopped in front of the police station. After getting out of the car, we looked at each other and walked towards the gate together. Pei Xiuye turned himself in. According to his confession, he was kidnapped when he was a child and was traded several times. Finally, he ended up in the hands of a farming family. The couple of farmers had no children and were illiterate, but they were extremely kind to Pei Xiuye. Their main source of income was growing poppies, and someone would come regularly to buy them. Later, an earthquake killed the farming couple, leaving only Pei Xiuye alone. He was taken away by those people. At that time, he was only 13 or 14 years old. When they came back, those people saw the missing person notice from the Pei family, and after comparing the facial features, they wanted to send Pei Xiuye to try and see if they could make some money. As a result, Pei Xiuye really was the child of the Pei family. Pei Xiuye officially entered the Pei family, but Pei's father and Pei Xiujin felt they owed Pei Xiuye, so they told him he didn't need to learn anything, just live happily. At first, those people were happy to make money from Pei Xiuye, but gradually they became unsatisfied. If they could control the entire Pei Corporation, wouldn't that be like having a goose that lays golden eggs? So they planned that accident, and I at first thought that accident was aimed at me. Later, Pei Xiuye gradually established himself in the Pei Corporation. After that, he regularly had the company donate to various organizations at least once a year. And this money, in the end, all flowed to the headquarters of foreign criminal groups. Pei Xiuye confessed everything he knew. Considering Pei Xiuye's initiative in turning himself in and his active cooperation, he was ultimately sentenced to life imprisonment. If Pei Xiuye behaves well inside, he might be able to change his life sentence to a fixed term. I also had a full body check, and I'm very healthy. As for Xian Lan, after selling the core information of Pei Group, she surprisingly didn't run away, but instead lived a stable life as a rich and beautiful woman. She was still caught. When she was caught, she was getting a full-body spa at the beauty salon. When the handcuffs were put on her, she was still shouting about being wronged, saying things like, "You've got the wrong person." The final outcome was a pleasant 9-year prison sentence. After everything settled down, I packed my luggage again and prepared to set off to see the world. Before leaving, I visited Pei Xiuye first, chatted with him casually, and mentioned my plans for the future. Pei Xiuye was also honestly accepting the reformation. Before I left, he said 2 more things. "I hope you can come to see me more often when you have time. I hope you can remember me firmly. My name is Pei Xiuye." I nodded in agreement and then turned and left. After that, I went to see Pei Xiuye. I told him everything that had happened recently. "Jean, I'm sorry I failed your commission. It's because I didn't teach him well. But don't worry too much. This time it's the country taking action. It will definitely be better than my discipline." I chatted with him for a while and hastily bid him farewell before nightfall. The next day, I took my luggage to the airport. The moment the plane took off, I felt an unprecedented lightness in my soul. Later, I traveled all over the world. I've seen the Eiffel Tower in the City of Romance, the cherry blossoms under Mount Fuji, the pastures full of cattle and sheep in Australia, and the most dazzling auroras in Iceland at night. Both domestically and internationally, I've been to many places. Each time, I would take a lot of photos. I made 3 copies of all the photos. 1 for Pei Xiuye, 1 burned for Pei Xiuye, and 1 kept for my future self when I'm old. Later, I never got married in my life. At the age of 53, he was diagnosed with bone cancer. Before he died, when he was sent to the hospital for treatment, we met once. That meeting was very brief, just a few minutes, yet it seemed longer than a lifetime. He spoke intermittently throughout. He said, "It's really nice to see you again before I die. I'm very happy. I was behaving well inside. I could have been out in another 2 years, but now it seems even God can't bear to watch. Doesn't want me to have it easy, and it's my own fault for deserving this." He said a lot, that every time I visited him, he really wanted to hold my hand. He said he often falls asleep at night holding my photo, as if that way he could accompany me through the places I've been to. Saying that, he asked me, "Xia Qingwei, all these years you've never married, are you waiting for me or waiting for my brother?" I was silent for a moment, just about to answer, when an ear-piercing beeping sound came from my ear. I told him, "I'm waiting for an impossible person. His surname is Pei." Later, I buried him alone. After that, I continued on my journey. All the photos are still in triplicate. The difference is, this time I'm going to burn 2 copies. It's really hard to part with. I'm the only one left now. Walk slower, wait for me more.